Okay. Let me get my chair. Hey everybody. Hello, hello. This reading is going to be today. Hold on, my table's all moving. Okay. Hopefully that holds it in place. So today we're going to do a reading for Leo. I don't know if the Cancer video is posting, but yeah, I'm a little bit off on my days. Yesterday I went to my grandma's funeral, so I wasn't able to do a reading yesterday. I wanted to spend that time with family. I'm sure you guys can understand. So today we're doing a reading for Leo. And today's date is January the 31st. So the last day of January. How has January been for you guys? I would love to know. I'm going to start a little different, but the same concept. So for all the readings, I've been doing you and your partner, no contact. And then on this side, I've been doing like what blockages do you have externally that's going on outside of you. So in the, I believe, Cancer reading, it was showing up as their own energy is what's blocking them. So it could be something like that, but for the most part, it's going to be external things. I'm going to start off, where's my decks? I don't have them on the table like I usually do. We're going to do this one first. That one is here. Let's put that right there. The hardest deck to shuffle in the world. I'm pretty sure there's more difficult ones, but that one I have a hard time with. Okay, Leos. Let's get started. So my name is Lorraine, and I am Golden Moonchild Tarot. I've been doing tarot now for about, I want to say like around 10 years, but never really like put my tarot-ness out in the world until recently. I started on Martin Luther King Day this year, and yeah, I really enjoy doing tarot. I really enjoy the peace and clarity it brings to people. So today we're going to get started with you guys, Leo. What are the reasons, or what could have happened between you and this person, your person, this person that you're in no contact with? Knight of Cups. Okay, maybe the love offerings just kind of stopped or slowed down. Okay, there was an abundance there, or maybe talks of abundance. It's kind of like the person is moving away from that. So somebody wanted to, I'm assuming so far, move on to their own abundance because what was being provided or what was being talked about was not really what this person wanted. Wow, that went flying. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that it felt like this. So I'm going to say the Ace of Pentacles, the offering, I don't know. Do you feel like somebody, maybe you or this person, was offering you something that like appeared to be abundant, but maybe a part of you like just emotionally couldn't agree with that? Like you just felt like you weren't invested. I know, like, look, I'm gonna just say this. I've met a lot of Leos in my life. The men, they're usually cool, suave speakers, but I'm talking about the women in particular. I don't know how you guys do it, but the Leo women, they be the ones who find the men who are like real providers. I don't know how you guys do it. I need to take a lesson from your book, but that Leo energy, it's magnetism and it's strong. And I do feel like Leos are really good at attracting people who offer. They love gifts. I mean, anybody would, but in particularly if you want to win a Leo over, like buy them something of status, of luxury. I don't know what's on my hand, but yeah, buy them something that's worth the material quality, the price quality, you know, notoriety. They love that stuff. So maybe that was something that this person was offering you and you just wasn't like it. No, boo-boo. That's what I'm picking up so far with these cards. But we are going to pull other cards to give more explanation and more clarity, okay? So, Leo, we're going to do this bottom row here. Giving you 3 more cards that can explain why Leo is not in contact with this person or this person is not in contact with them. What is going on? Okay. It's kind of like making a decision, but not really. Making a decision, not really. Whoa. That was that way. Okay. You guys could have had like different perspectives. Somebody was moving, maybe not at your pace. Just saying, what came to me just now is while you were focusing on this person was focusing maybe on themselves more. Maybe this person seemed a little selfish, and that's why they weren't willing to give you the abundance you wanted. You felt like they were selfish. You felt like they were selfish, maybe even stingy. That's what I'm getting. All right, one more card. What is going on with Leo? Okay, no cards are coming out. We're gonna do one more. Okay, so when this happens, you guys, I usually don't look at the deck. I just split wherever, and whatever comes out. We have a King of Wands. What did I say? I said selfish. Okay, so King of Wands, honestly, too, this came out, I think, who was it? I think it was either Cancer or Gemini. I don't remember. But, okay, we got kind of an idea. I said selfishness. I said somebody who is focusing more on them, and you peeped that from the beginning. They weren't really giving you the abundance you need as a Leo, or maybe, like I said, this goes both ways. The Leo was not giving the abundance, right? You could either be the first way where you weren't receiving it, Leo, or the second way you weren't giving it. Of course, the situation, you know what happened, what applies. If not, let it fly. So I want to say, as we break this down a little bit more, so this was what was going on, kind of like overall. Usually with these cards I put in the middle, kind of brings more of an intuitive, more deeper reason as to why this is happening. Yes, this person was maybe thinking about themselves, but why would be explained here. You were focused on yourself. I feel like in this reading it is Leo that is clocking this from this person. I think, Leo, you were committed into this, but you decided to leave. You weren't happy with this offering, right? You weren't happy with what was being offered to you. Even though they were saying like, hey, I'm gonna give you this, it's gonna look like this, you chose to walk away because you're like, that doesn't serve me, that doesn't look like me. Although you are in love with this person and you had feelings, maybe the idea of commitment or long-term was there, but of this cup, this Knight of Cups, this cups represents slower movement than any other cups. I mean, any other knights, my bad. But you are moving away. Maybe as the relationship went on, just saying, I know that the Pentacles could talk about, I believe it's years. We have 10 years. Maybe there was a 10-year relationship and you just fell out of love with that person. And now you're taking your cup and kind of going on to focus on other things. You're going to go leave and find a throne that actually fits you, that actually is your place where you should be. There's a graduation from the Knight to the Queens. In this sense, the person is, I feel like, kind of keeping an eye on you. This person may be watching what you're doing. So what I told no, it was Taurus. Change your passwords. Go online and update your passwords. Probably if you guys were married for 10 years, I would definitely recommend. I would definitely recommend you guys to make sure you have your update all your information. Yeah. So ultimately, I feel like this is a good place. It's kind of like I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm not putting up with this. So I think that's good. And yeah, I think it's time for you guys to just kind of move on for that. Yeah, I just wanted to check. I'm aware that Pentacles means years, but for some reason I kind of doubted myself on that. So I did look online just now. It is, yes. It's the Swords is months, and then Cups is months, and then Swords is like weeks, Pages, or Wands, I'm sorry, are the days. So anyways. All right, so we're done with this deck for now. Let's put this in here. Yes, you guys, I've told in other readings that I do use my iPhone cases. This one's kind of janky, but I do use my iPhone cases as my tarot boxes when they get damaged. So if you want, like, you can do, I don't know, just saying, you can kind of glue the information card here so that way you can get an idea, like when you're looking through all your boxes. If you have multiple boxes like this, you can just attach the card and you'll know, like, okay, that's this deck. Just a little DIY project if you want to do it. I am going to pull this deck. All right, why is this, what happened emotionally? Why was there like this selfish energy, and what was, I guess, the final straw for Leo to say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to go find my own cup, or, you know, be my own cup, like love myself, sit on my throne, do what I have to do. Ooh, there's a lot of cards. All right, so yeah, like I said, some of you guys may have been married. There was a codependency. You guys lost trust, and a retreat. So it's kind of telling a story. This was first. So it went like this, which is pretty crazy. It literally tells a story. And I did say being married to this person. So this situation involves a marriage. We said that. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Yeah, I definitely will say that there was something going on. As what, we will pull more cards. I'm not too sure exactly what was going on, like what they had, but being that this card is more selfish, he's more like a person who loves attention, life of the party, all this other stuff. Especially if it was in reverse, I would say definitely we have somebody who is could be like a sex addict, or somebody who is always trying to seek attention from other people. That's the energy I usually get with this when it's in reverse. But even this Wands, he's very quick, he wants his way, but he's charismatic, and sometimes that's a trait that you have to be careful for, because that is what brings in the person on the other side. It's kind of like that's the fishing rod that he had, and that's what baited you in. And you know, as time went on, you probably got breadcrumbed, or things started to happen where you lost your trust in this card. And it says this situation is calling for you to have faith. Yes, have faith in it, but for some reason I don't feel like there's a sense of, like, yes, you can have trust, but still we should also think about our well-being, and I always want to put that out there. So retreat, it's time to disconnect from the world. I don't know, I see you walking away and focusing on yourself, Leo. I definitely will feel like this is Leo talking about that. And I say that because even with this is technically like fire energy, like Leo, but I feel like it's more on the Leo side that this is happening to the Leo, and then they're experiencing this from their partner. Just because we have water elements does not necessarily mean like this has to be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This has to be the energy that embodies that person. So I do feel like the Leo was the one in love here. This is what's being offered. You didn't want it. The person had their mind on other things. And, you know, you guys, I guess, in a sense, you guys also both wanted to have your own, maybe independence, maybe, but not in the way like, I don't want to deal with you, but like you guys wanted your own autonomy. And I think that's where the codependency is here. You know, you have one queen who's facing away and the king is like still looking towards her. And I feel like that energy, this person definitely wanted the validation. And that's why I usually tie this energy, the King of Wands, to somebody who is always trying to seek validation, or somebody who's always trying to like engage with somebody else to then boost him up. Think of it this way, like a fire cannot burn if there's no wood, and the wood would be the catalyst to creating the fire. So it's almost like he needed somebody to feed his fire, and that could have came out in different ways. Take that for what it is. So let's move on to the next. Let's do this one. You guys know this deck. Well, maybe you don't know. This is my first video to Leo. If you watched any of the other... Oh, look at me. It's not this deck, but we will use this deck. I grabbed the wrong one. This is the one I was supposed to grab. This one is like so challenging. Oh, we got the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Somebody's heartbroken. We'll just count these as notables since it came out. We have some type of fast movement, a sudden like heartbreak, or something suddenly happened. Maybe after slow movement, like suddenly you made the decision. You struggled with it, but there was an argument maybe that, you know, it was hard to sleep. Like you went to sleep angry from this argument. And it caused you to, you know, that was the initiator that really got you to move on. I'm assuming. I think that's what happened. There was this argument that happened, and because of that, that argument really changed your perspective on things. This was the storm, and this is where the sun came in and cleared up everything for you. The sun and the Fool almost brought you clarity. I think it brought you clarity because you started to see things that it wasn't serving you anymore. Leo. I think you finally realized that, you know what, I need to move out because I'm heartbroken. I'm hurting from this. I'm not getting what I deserve for this. So if that means I have to leave on my own, I will do it, regardless of what this person says, because they bring me a lot of pain anyways. I can't trust them, right? And they also don't allow me to have my own autonomy because they tend to be a person who's very codependent on me. Almost like the wedding, like even in the picture, oh my gosh. Even in the picture, like this person does not like, I don't know if you guys can see that. This person does not look happy to be married. I don't know if my light is creating a glare. But you can see she's like really happy. Almost like the Nine of Cups, like smugged kind of. And he just looks like gulp. So I don't know. Something happened there where, I don't know. This is not giving me like happy marriage. This is giving me like, we've been together for so long. And it's like at the point of like, I hate to say this, Leo, but it's almost to the point of like, I'm gonna just give her this ring. I hate to say this, but like to kind of silence you almost in a sense. Like maybe there was a conversation of like, you know, maybe there was a conversation. Okay, it's coming. Maybe there was a conversation of like, all right, this is what I'm picking up on. This is how like the storyline is transitioning in my mind, what I'm picking up on. I do feel like there was a proposal for a Leo out there. There was a proposal where maybe after a relationship that was 10 years, there was a proposal. There was an acceptance of this proposal here. But it wasn't in the place. I love how it starts like with the wedding, like literally ends. But I don't know. I don't think that this was. I'm not seeing that this was. I don't want to say your best move or their best move, but it was done out of the sake of like, it's not real love. It was more like, I know the word silence is so hard to say. I don't want to say they silence you because maybe you were saying it like, oh, when are we going to get married or whatnot. But it just seemed like they were, I'm going to move my camera because I can see that it's kind of moving. That they were kind of just like, okay, already, I'll marry you. I hate to say that, but that's what it feels like. I'll marry you, fine, here. But it wasn't given like this, like I love you, take my hand in marriage. You know, I want commitment. You know, it was given like, I don't know, Leo. I think it's better that you leave this person. And it's hard to leave people because of the years that you put into it. The years you put into it. Maybe it was a wedding proposal that happened after 10 years, and then 9 months later, you know, we got into this place where things aren't working. Maybe there's a feeling like maybe we rushed into things, or there was things that we didn't really say clearly. We didn't take the initiative, like we didn't completely take the jump correctly because there was a lot of doubt, there was a lot of headaches, there was a lot of mental fog going on. So I'm gonna move these down so I can kind of just talk about this a little bit more. Yeah, I think, Leo, it's time. And I think you know it's time. With the Fool card, I love it because it's the start. It's literally like, okay, I'm at work and I didn't know if I heard the front door, like there's like a little fob or a little code that we press and the door opens, but it's probably my neighbor's thing going off. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody's here for me? No, I'm in the middle of a reading. I have nobody coming for me right now. But anyways, yeah, I do feel like this is the time to start fresh. I love the fact that, you know, you guys did get the Fool at the last card because it shows the completion, but that space where completion has happened, all this in between, and then the first step. The Fool card is a card that has no numbers. 0, yes, is a number. We know this, but 0 has no value. It is the absence of value, right? Follow what I'm saying. If we don't have any value to the number, it's not necessarily a step. But just like our thought happens in our mind, it is a thought that has not been acted upon. So therefore, you're in the mindset of cultivating, creating what your new reality will look like. And I love this card for you, Leo, because as time goes on, you're going to get to a point where you are ready to then take the first step, which is showing here. She's at the edge of the cliff. This is as far as her journey goes before she then makes the jump, or he makes the jump to then start the new. And I think, Leo, you have gotten to this point. The sun is like right here, which is great for Leo. You got the, in a sense, the sun card here. It's shining on you. You know what you need to do. Now you just need to take the jump. You've done all the hard work of like processing all of this, getting to the point where you realize this is not for me anymore. This is not aligned for me anymore. And you're going to get to a place where now that first jump is going to be so monumental for you. And I'll be rooting you on when you take that first step, because that's when life really changes. That's when your life will really start to expand. Okay, Leo, that's what I will say. You know, I love you guys. If that part of the reading was like, if you found anything out of there, please like it, please share it. You know, I'm a new reader on the channel and I just want to like spread Spread just this information with other people. I love tarot. I've always loved it. It's always been something that I like. Sooner or later, once I get my setup better, I'm gonna have like actual videos while I'm recording so you guys can see me. But for now, I just have this table. I'm working with the space I have, and we're gonna start. Like, just, you may not have much to start with, but if you start, that is the first step, and that's what we're doing here. So you can follow me on Instagram. Link will be in the bio. You can follow me on I don't know about TikTok. Everybody's been talking about TikTok and like deleting it. So I don't know. I mean, they could, whoever wants to look at my TikTok for my tarot, then yeah. If you guys want a reading, you can. Government, because I think the government's over there controlling it. Maybe they need a tarot reading. Maybe there's people in the government who are Leos and they need tarot readings. Maybe I'll post it there. We'll see. I'm not too sure how long I will keep that for. But I do have Facebook. I have a Facebook group where it says Let's Talk Tarot. You guys can totally join that. Yeah, we just talk about different spreads. We talk about different cards. There are some individual tarot readers on there that do like readings. They'll do lives, or they'll do like pull of cards for donations. There's all that stuff. And then what else do I have? But yeah, I'll just put everything in the bio and a little description too. Okay, so there's that. Let's move this one aside. I'm gonna get back to this deck later on, so we'll just move that one to the side. Okay. Now we are going to talk about what are the blockages happening for you. What are the blockages happening for you? Actually, let's pull an oracle card for this one. Ooh, hello. I'm just going to get the top one. Oh, there's 3 of them. Not too bad. Awakening, Akasha, Warrior, Woman. Okay. That gives me like Wonder Woman vibes. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being. What did I say? And integration. Okay. It says your guidance is divinely guided. All right, that's this one. And then Warrior Woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Yes, I'm telling you, if you need time to think about it, take the time to think about it, but don't take too long, because time is not given to everyone, and time is of the essence. We know this. You've had your awakening. You've had your moment of ascension. You understand energetically that there are better things for you coming, and if you don't take the opportunity now, you know, this blessing that comes to you is time. It's timely right now to do so, because this is what's going to lead you to the new. You're being guided, so you have everything on your side right now to get you where you need to go, Leo, because you are being divinely guided. That means your ancestors or the utmost high, everything is in alignment right now for you to take the steps. These things happen. I know it's hard to deal with them, because I totally understand. It was hard to go through this process with this person because of the love that you have there, the time that was invested, all of this other stuff, but you learned a lesson. I'm learning this now, that some relationships are there to teach you something, and some people are there to mirror back to you the things that you need to improve on. And on top of that, there are times that, yes, we stay too long in this relationship, but it's because our eyes and our mind has not been opened, or we are not allowing it to open. So then that way we can learn that lesson and then move on. So then that way we don't spend too much of our time on these type of situations with people. Trust me. Oh my gosh, that's like a lesson learned all of last year. Trust and believe. How they do it? Yeah, it was one of those. So take this time, right? And then while you're being guided to do something that you've always wanted to do. Maybe there was a fear to do it. Maybe there was self-doubt. You have the sun and you have the Fool. So everything is starting new. This is the time to take this new beginning, okay? So now we're gonna go into here because I just felt like there was something else there. Let's do this. So where you guys at? I feel like that's gonna fall over. Yeah. Leo, this is a beautiful reading. I think so far this has like been my favorite one of the no contacts. This is this has been the best. My most favorite one. And I've only done Leo. I started at Aries and I've gone to Leo, but Leos are beautiful people. I'm a Cancer and I love my Leo people. Although they have the lion, they always have like this gentle, like a gentle lion aspect to them. Every time I've been around a Leo, they've always been so sweet, so welcoming. Those have been the individuals to encourage me on the days that I feel low. I think it was this one. I don't know. Let's just do both. Okay. I think both of them came out. But yeah, you guys are awesome. Leos are like really good people. I hardly know any Leos to be like, every now and then, yes, they do be out there, the unhealed ones, but those are the ones that like will give you the shirt off your back. I'm just saying it because it's true. I know this for a fact. They would be the ones to give the last of their stash, and I don't mean the crazy stuff. I mean like the 420. They would be like the ones to give it to you. They'd be the ones, you know, take this, take the shirt off my back. Here, have this. You know, you need help? I got you. They are the people. And I think one thing, if I can say this, Leo, me talking about that, what I'm hearing is like, guard that. Not everybody deserves that from you. You guys are so willing to give it out, so helpful when you give it out, and people, yes, do appreciate it. But there are individuals out there that almost expect it for you to just give and be kind. Just, you know, be selective, use discernment. I think the best way to find out is there reciprocity in this relationship. As much as I give, what am I getting back? And I think that was like what you guys learned here. It's not that you wanted more, you just wanted that person to match you. And I don't feel like that person matched you at all in what they gave. Okay. Ooh, hello. Temperance in reverse. All right. I don't know why, but I'll be honest. I have been doing tarot now for I took a class to learn tarot. I think it was like 2017 or 18. But prior to that, I already kind of been knowing. I had my first deck and my mom got so pissed. I don't know how she found it, but she came in my room and went right to where it was, which was trippy. But my mom has always been like that, like very intuitive. You know, I get all that from her. And as much as she tries to tell me like it's not good, I'm like, Mom, but you have the gift. You know, this is your gift. Like, you can see things. Like, literally, my mom and I, we've collectively, between the both of us, we've had the outer body experiences. We've had the seeing of shadow peoples. We've had premonitions. We've had all of that. I've had all of that stuff. You know, I even hear like sometimes, I don't know who it is, but when I was younger, I'm getting on a tangent, but I'll just share it. When I was younger, I had a picture that I took of myself. And it was the OG iZone cameras. If you guys remember those, they were like these long these long cameras like this with this like big button that you would press, and then you like pull out the image and you would shake it, and it was like a little square like this, that size, and you could like put it on your folder or your notebook, or you know, in your locker. Like, that's when we used to like actually put our pictures of our friends in the folder, little flap there. Yes. Early 2000s and late 90s. Yes, that was my time of being in school. So overall, we took this picture of myself. And on the left side of my face, I'm looking at the camera, but on the left side of my face, I see an image. And it starts to develop. And, you know, it's weird that this particular picture, out of the like 8 different pictures I had left on the camera when I found it, I was like going through old boxes. And I was like, oh, look, I have 8 more pictures to take. Let me just knock them out and then I'll just use them. Because it was like, I hadn't used it in a long time. But anyways, so one of the pictures of the 8 develops. And this photo was developing all pretty much white with like red. If you were to draw like red as the shadow on, like if you were to draw a picture and it used like a certain color to create shadow and dimension on the face, red was all on the outside of the dimensions of the face. So like the curvature of the nose, the cupid's bow of the lips, like the shape of the ear, all that stuff. So you could see the details, but it was red and white. I kid you not. This picture developed, and when I saw it, it freaked me out because it started to show a face, and the face was like looking straight towards me, towards my ear, and pretty much I got scared as a kid. I think I was like 9 or 10 or something when this happened, in maybe like middle school. And I go running to my mom to go, you know, like, oh crap, like, Mom, look what just happened. And then, you know, her and I start praying over it. Why does a picture undevelop? Polaroid pictures do not undevelop. As it started to, like, the image started to come in, you start to see the image kind of like fading away. And then the whole image just went like completely white. It, like, to this day, I promise you on everything that happened. I remember being in my bedroom, running down the stairs that we had as a townhouse, and running to her, and she was in the kitchen, like the craziest thing ever. Showed it to her. But anyways, TMI, just sharing you guys some of my experiences with things. I really do feel like this is a gift I have, and I really wish that people who have gifts like this, that we live in a society that doesn't shade us for having it. But ultimately, yeah, let's get back into this. So yeah, if you want to fast forward. Hello everyone, today's the next day. So a girl did not have her phone on the charger, and the phone died. And I was getting to the juicy stuff, you guys. I was getting to the real, like, juicy things. So it is the next day. It is February the 1st. Now, we're just gonna dive right back in. Actually, let me go do something real quick. You're gonna dive right in. And moisturize, because one thing I hate seeing is some ashy hands. Okay, we are not doing that on camera. Anyways, so these were the cards that at the end of the video that I thought I was recording yesterday. This was here. So I kind of just left it. I went out with my family. We went to, what is it called? The Pirates Adventure Dinner, or Dinner Adventure in Buena Park. I had a blast. They could have did better on the dinner, but I think it was more about the show anyways. So anyways, we are back. It is the 1st. We're going to move these aside, right? Just for now. We're going to focus on this. So everything what I was saying before is you in this energy. I'm just going to recap because I'm diving back into it. You were in this energy of kind of moving away from someone and choosing yourself, or understanding that this is a new beginning and I'm going to be in this phase of kind of manifesting and thinking what it is that I'm going to do next. Now, this part of the reading we were talking about you working. I do recall saying that somebody or you, since this is what's blocking you, I think here we have an energy of work, not putting in the work, or feeling like the work is too much. What supports that is next, the card next to it. You're kind of over it. You don't want to carry this burden, or you feel like it's just too much work to put into this. and you're trying to find the patience for it, but you're having a hard time, in summary. Okay, we talked about in this card there has been a collapse of the cups, but behind you there are two standing, and being that this card is in reverse, let's just say what it's this way, you're kind of in a mourning. I'm sad. Maybe there's been like a hurt or betrayal or some type of thing where you feel as though you weren't supported, you weren't appreciated, whatever this was. But being that it's in the reverse, you're kind of moving away from that energy. And I do see here on out, there's going to be a little bit of, how can I say this? Now you can go about it two ways. You can look at these cards and say, okay, I'm sad, but I'm trying to get away from this. And you can then move to a place where, you know, you're celebrating or having a good time. But we got to be mindful about that, right? We got to be mindful about how much partying or how much celebrating or how much, you know, activity, distractions that you're allowing yourself to put in. I mean, it does make sense that because these cups fell, you're kind of in the mindset that you don't want to even maybe focus on this right now. You want to just be in this energy. I would say be mindful. There could be an individual who you meet that is maybe on the surface you feel like they are offering you something. Maybe there's something that they want to give you and that you are aware of that, but they're not equally yoked to you. I do feel like this could be maybe a karmic person coming in the future that could be getting in the way of what this card represents, you choosing to take the leap in whatever your deepest calling is with this card. Don't let this person or this energy distract you. I mean, there may be some lessons you need to learn from this person, but I would say just keep them as an acquaintance or keep them arm's length. Don't really allow this person in the near future if somebody comes to you or presently, because this is what's blocking you. When I was doing the reading and I was talking about it the other day, well, yesterday, I had mentioned that all of these cards, when they're upright, are amazing cards, right? Yes, this one is perfectly placed how it is, because it's saying that we understand the heartbreak, or we understand the pain. Cups, like I said, are tied to emotions. So being that the card is in reverse, there's an element of, yes, I understand the sadness, but I'm moving forward. I know that I need to move on. So I like the fact that you're moving on to this energy, but somewhere along the line, we need to work on this as well, because my goal always is to get the cards facing up. Don't they look so much happier this way? Now, I do feel like Leo, I would say that you need to find somebody who's balanced to you, actually offer you something that actually is going to be balanced, right? It's going to be equal. You guys are exchanging cups with each other, right? Or since we're talking about blockages, you are in a position or in an energy where you're trying to give your energy, maybe here, to stuff that is not equally balanced to you. And that's why you feel overworked or, not really having the patience for this anymore. The Ten of Cups is the happy ending, and then it leads to marriage. Now, being that we're talking again about blockages, things that could be blocking you, what I would say, and I wish it would have recorded, because yesterday I was going off. I was channeling. I was like, yes, the messages are coming through. So if I can rechannel in summary, what it was saying is the main thing for you right now, Leo, I would say, is you need to figure out yourself first. What is your calling? Because whatever it is, you're being guided to take the leap, right? We have that. There's things in your energy in the past that you just don't have the patience, the time, they don't seem worth investing in, and that is okay. Once you realize that, and I do feel like we had, let me see again. Okay. Once we realize that, then we can make the cards all turn around. That way, this is the blockage right here. There's a person or an energy of you trying to find something that can match the energy or the love or the nurturing that you produce. Although it seems as though that this person or this energy is going to bring you happiness and stability, it's not. You need to be the person to have discernment and really look at that. You need to be the person to see for what it is. Find what maybe you need to look into seeing like your love languages or your attachment styles. Those are things that I would suggest highly looking into. So then that way you can realize what the patterns are and not make this choice again. Because it does seem like in the future you could be from partying, you meet somebody, and then that person you feel like is the one, but doesn't really offer you what this person or what you need. So therefore you kind of repeat this whole cycle again. And I wouldn't want that for you, because right now we are in the beginning of something and you have a fresh start here to actually have something happen. But don't allow somebody who comes in, maybe sweet talks you, maybe says things to you that, you know, is flattering. You just went through a heartbreak. Yeah, I would say try to get yourself in a mindset of like, I want to focus on myself. Overall, every day you should ask yourself, have you answered your deepest calling? And you should know, in time of meditation, in times of silence, sit with yourself and really ask yourself, what is it? At least then you would know here, what is my calling? And once you figure it out, then you could take the first steps. So now we're going to go into the oracle cards. It was like this. Yes. They were like this. Okay. So pretty much what it was saying. Let me check if you can see all of them. No, you can't. Okay. So we're going to scoot it over. Or I could just grab it as I go. Okay, so this one says, your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, and creative accountability. Okay, so this is it, right? The full card talks about beginnings. You're in a position now that you have a blank canvas to create whatever you want. If you want to be around people who are going to support you, you can do that. If you want to be around people who actually believe in the journey that you're being called to follow, that you're being guided to follow, you can do that. But you have to have discernment. You have to learn the patterns that you have individually and be able to block that, okay? Be able to reroute that, to change it, to see it for what it is. You know, speak your truth if you need to. Don't let things overstimulate you. Don't think about things too much. You know, you're in a place right now where you can have anything you want if you put your, you know how they say, if you put your mind to it. Literally you can, because you have a blank canvas. You're starting fresh. There was an ending. This is a new beginning. Don't look back, okay? If you want to talk about it this way, and I'm just being silly, this was fall colors. We're in spring colors. You don't use fall colors in the spring, right? You got a blank canvas. Use those spring colors. Those colors that speak to you. Things that you need in your life. The things that you want in your life, right? So then now we have child of the cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. You literally have all the answers that you need in order to take the first steps. But I'm telling you, the only way to channel that information is to reconnect with yourself. I do feel like here with this person, maybe they took a lot of your attention, right? They took a lot of your attention. They took a lot of your willpower to do things. They took a lot of your energy, almost like an energy vampire. I'm picking up that this person was in the past. And I think for the most part, what you need to do is like I said, sit with yourself, meditate, sit with yourself, and really maybe journal. Silence sometimes is, well, a lot of the time, silence is really good. You know, I know we like to listen to music. Have you ever did this before? No music in the car. Turn on your voice recording app and just start talking. While you're driving, just start talking. And you'd be surprised. Go back and listen to it, and you'd be surprised, like hearing yourself talk about your troubles, talk about the things that, you know, you're struggling with. Once you hear it, Now it's as if though you're hearing it like, let's say if it was somebody else's problems. You always can hear somebody else's problems and find a solution. But for us, we don't know how to fix our own solutions. Listen to yourself while you're on the app, or if you have it in your phone, the notes, I don't know. If you have like a cassette player, I don't know. But for the most part, take the time to listen to yourself. And you'll be able to be like, wow, I really need to change that. Or I don't like the way that sounds. I want to make that better in my life. I want to do better in this area of my life. It's possible. The canvas is blank. You have whatever you need. The next one is portal, excuse me. Doors are open. You decide, reward, wild card, right? So again, we are in a flowing energy. We're flowing right now. You are the artist. The artist is gathering his materials, right? After the Fool card, like I said, you're manifesting things. Manifesting things is in the mind, right? The artist is, all that stuff is in the mind. It takes the mind first in order for all that stuff to happen. I mean, that's what I meant to say. Then you go within, right? I got my materials. I went within to then have the energy, have the mindset, have the willpower to then take the first step. The first step is you walking through this door. Now, you're not walking through the door with the notion of like, oh, let me leave it open. No, you're walking through the door because this is the new you. I'm telling you, I find it funny. I'm just going to put a pin in what I'm saying right now and kind of jump into this. I find it so funny that my phone died yesterday. We have a full moon in Leo today. And Leo, this is your reading. So harvest this energy from the moon. It's a full moon. You have the full magnetism of the moon to do what you need to do. Okay? And pretty soon we're going to be, like I like to say it, we're going to be the year of the fire horse. So Leo, not only is it a full moon now, you're charging yourself up. Then you go into the fire horse year. So it's just an amazing energy to be in, and such an amazing time to get this card pulled out. The doors are opening for you, but are you going to walk through them? Like literally everything is lining up for you. This needed to end so that way you could be in a position. And I find that so beautiful. And sometimes like people hate endings, but endings are beautiful moments because it allows something new to begin. That's a great way next time. If you're suffering with the loss, if you're suffering with something that ended and it's hard for you to let it go, understand that things in life are always going to change, because that's the only thing that's consistent is change. And change allows you to exhibit, experience, gain knowledge, whatever the words you want to put. It allows you to then transcend. And that's really what wisdom is about. You've taken those experiences and it adds knowledge. It makes you a better person. And you're at this point where you're aware of that. I've learned my lesson, but I do need to move forward to move on to what's next, Leo. I really feel like that's where you're at. And I really hope when this door opens and you are aware of what that door looks like, that you go through it. And I don't mean, of course, like a physical door, but you know what I'm talking about. There's going to be an opportunity where something opens up, right? I do feel like when this door opens, you'll know, but the way you'll know for sure is you have to go within. Don't just like, okay, I'm gonna just go about my day and do, like, wake up in the morning and do your spiritual talk with yourself, with your higher self, your spirit guides, however you address them, the divine, God, Jesus Christ, like whoever. You need to sit down and talk. I like to do it internally because I don't need to let the devil know what I'm thinking. That's just me. But just really have those moments. It's going to be beautiful, right? So the next card, it says, surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy. Venus is how we show love, right? Maybe you should look in your charts, Leo, where your Venus sign is. And I do recall when I was doing yesterday's reading, I mentioned that I wanted to add this on my Instagram, on my YouTube channel, where I talk about what each Venus placement represents. So I have a Venus in Gemini, and I know that could be like a little bit back and forth. I love you, I hate you. Come back to me. But anyways, that's, you know, and then some people have Venus in Cancer, you know, that kind of stuff. So ultimately, what we have to think of is looking at our Venus placement, understanding that that's where we gain pleasure, that's where we gain joy. It's how we want to be loved. Take this energy, and when you meet this person, check all the boxes if they align with your Venus. Check all the boxes if they align with your morals, the things that you really want. That's how you're gonna find this person, right? That's how you're gonna find this person. You're not gonna find them if you're just, woo, girls, let's go to the club and have a good time, you know. Let's listen to Beyonce. I was listening to her in the car. Renaissance. Anyways, so for the most part, it says pleasure. Make love to life. I'm sorry. Yeah, enjoy it. But don't let it just take over. Don't let it just kind of go by without you thinking logically. You're still being guided. Not everywhere you go, you're going to think like, oh, I'm being guided, so that means this must be it. Use discernment. Use your morals. Use the things that you manifest here, and also go within and see if that aligns with your spirit, your soul at a deeper level. Does this align with me? Yes or no? That's how you'll know about this. And the more you do that, then you'll have this energy, which was this way before, but we're going to turn it this way, and that's when this will come. I don't know where the video is cutting off, but this was at the very end. This is the last card that was part of the reading. The Seas of Minnetonka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to the light. Hand in hand, while you are over here connecting to yourself, deep soul diving into yourself with this card here. All of that stuff that you're not aware of, all of those things that you repressed, and we do that as people. Like, we go through trauma, we push it down. We go through trauma, we push it down. And the more and more we do that, the more packed it is in, and it's harder to break apart. It's harder to have it exit our body. We know this because the body, I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but like people who do certain therapy to their body, and they put like pressure on certain parts of their body, and next thing you know, this person's crying because that's where all that trauma was held in the body. If we were to focus on that, healing ourselves, being aware of what was unconscious, and we bring it to the light, we then, yes, will expose ourselves. But we're going to expose ourselves so that way we can finally see ourselves and make those changes instead of repeating patterns. It is so hard, trust and believe me. It's a very uncomfortable thing to do, but have you ever just sat with yourself and really looked at yourself without trying to point the finger at someone else? I think that's part of the journey as well, that Leo does need to take. And Leo, like I said, you guys are loving, you guys are supportive people. But where are you self-sabotaging yourself? What patterns are you repeating that aren't serving you anymore, that make it difficult for you to separate yourself or move to a place where your own needs are being, handed to you? Right? Remember, we always want to have the cards go upright. So clearly, even though this person, you walked away because they weren't handing you something, clearly there's something that is being given to you. You could easily shift it once you know what to look for. So let me do, I want to end with, I'm trying to see if there's any decks that I'm like thinking of right now to do. No, I think that's it. You guys got all of this in the first, and this was just me kind of recapping. I mean, there was so much more I said, but overall, that's been the message. Abundance is going to come to you guys. This will happen. This will happen for you guys. Right? You end with both bright, beautiful yellow cards. It's warm. It's probably like summertime. I don't know. I'm assuming somewhere in the summertime or in the spring. I don't know, somewhere in that time period. I think you'll start to get it, but you need to do the work. If the work is going to take you that time, I would highly suggest doing it, because the more work you do on yourself, the more spiritual healing you do on yourself, the more acceptance for things that happened in the past, and realizing, okay, what was the lesson versus that person hurt me. You know what I mean? If you can start thinking that way, it's deep. It is really deep to start thinking that way. But once you do, you take away what the person did as an intentional form of hurting you. And you start to look at it as, that was a lesson that I was supposed to learn. It makes it easier to love yourself and forgive the person. So, Leo, just some things I wanted to share, and I'll post this in my thing and like the description or my post for the day. I am very honored to say, Leo, I'm glad to do your video on the 1st and finish it at least, and it is Black History Month officially. So I told myself that this month I wanted to do an honorable deep dive into Afro-Latino, Black, African-American spiritual history. Who are the founding fathers? Who are the individuals that, what did they sacrifice? All of that stuff. And I would be working on that. So every day I wanted to highlight somebody. I think I mixed these cards around. Let me go this way. Every day I want to highlight somebody. So I am going to get that organized. Again, if you guys want to book a reading, you guys can contact me on my website, send me an email. I do have a phone number now that you guys can text me if you want to reach out that way. And soon to come are memberships, so look out for that. And yes, Leo, I enjoyed doing your reading. You guys had a really beautiful reading because it talked about transitioning, moving on, trusting yourself, retreating. Don't be in this energy of codependency, or don't allow anybody to be codependent on you. There needs to be balance, because when that is not, it's just not going to work. Start finding healthier attachments. And if that means going to therapy, do so. An app I use right now, it's called Ash. It's a really good app. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for on-the-spot kind of help with therapy. It's basically like a ChatGPT style therapy app. I use it myself. I'm not sponsored. I just like to share the word. Okay, Leo, I love you. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.